Hi guys, so today we will talk about trunk-based development, which is being used in most of the companies nowadays. So all the companies want their development process should be smooth, so that their deployment can happen as frequent as possible, so that their time to market is less. So to do all that things, the software development process should be streamlined. Your test cases should be automated. So your deployment process should be smooth. So we will look into how the trunk-based development process works to accomplish all that things. So let's say we have one Scrum team here. So Scrum team is basically used in Agile. So basically in Agile, whole software is built incrementally. So they will pick some part of the feature of that software and they will develop that feature and they will put that feature into production. So this is all about Agile. So we will not go that deep into Agile in this video. I will create another video only for Agile. So in trunk-based development, you have one main branch in GitHub. You also call it as trunk. So the purpose of this branch is this branch should always be deployable. So meaning like this branch should be latest and all the deployments should happen from this branch. Okay. So let's say the product owner assign two features to the team. Okay. So let's say two features are assigned to the team. And now that two features, let's say, are picked up by two developers. So what they will do, what will be the first step? They will go to main branch and they will create the new branch, feature one, let's say. Okay. So again, the second developer who is working on feature 2, he will also do the same thing. He will go to the main branch and will create his own branch, let's say feature 2. Okay, now the two branches are created from the feature branch, feature 1 and feature 2, and now the developers will work on these branches to complete the work in these features. Okay, so let's say the feature 2 branch is completed. Now the work is completed, so the next step will be, so the developer will create the pull request to merge that code into the main branch. So once this pull request is created, then your continuous integration come into picture, right? So in as part of continuous integration, your project should have automated test cases. Like it can be unit test cases, it can be regression, it can be business test cases. So it totally depends on your project, but as soon as the pull request is created, this should get triggered. So we can use GitHub Actions to trigger automated test cases when the pull request is created. So your code review process should be also fast, so that once let's say I'm creating the pull request, so the first step will be all the test cases are running against my code, and once all test cases are passed, so this process is passed, so inside that the code review process should also be there, so that the other developers of the team should able to review and give their approvals on it, right? So that's how it should work. Once everything is done in this step plus code review, the code will get merged into main branch. Once the code is merged to the main branch, the deployment process should be triggered. Again, we can use GitHub Actions for this, or you can use any other tool also. So deployment process will trigger like this. So let me arrange this. So again, whole idea of trunk based development is that main branch should always be deployable and latest. So once the code is merged, our deployment process is triggered. And let's say most of the companies will have like QA environment, and some will have a development environment also. So here, let's say if we have QA environment and then we have, let's say, production environment here. So once the deployment is done on QA, then again, before moving to production, in this step, you can also use, you can also do your testing again. Okay. So, and in some of the cases, you might need like, okay, the code is deployed to QA and maybe someone from the client side have to give you approval on QA, and then you can move your code to production. But QA to production also should not take much time. It should be as quick as possible based on your project or application. And between QA and production, again, you can do testing, like maybe performance testing or regression testing. You can do that in this step on QA server, and once it is okay, then your code will go to production. Also, one case can be the production server is always connected with your feature database. Okay, feature flag database. So that is really important. But again, it depends on your application. So what that means is, let's say the feature 2 was already merged in main branch and it's already deployed, but this feature will go live after 1 week, let's say. So this production, so the value of feature 2 flag will be false, okay, in this database, so that your code can read from this database and will able to get the value if in production feature 2 should be visible to end consumers or not. So this step is really important. And also in production environment, you might have different deployment strategies. It depends on your project. So if let's say the if let's say the team is using blue green deployment, so they will have two regions like blue and green, similar regions, and the blue one will be active. In that case, the deployment will first happen to green region so that they can do their validations. Everything is working fine. All the validations can happen in green environment, and if it's all stable, then the green can be switched to blue environment, so that in case you have any issue in blue or live environment, you can immediately switch your code here with the last release. But again, the point is it's like not that simple, like you just move the code from QA to production. So this part is really like where all the deployment strategies comes into picture, so that there is no impact to the end consumer. So if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more programming content.